I'm a sheep farmer from just outside Melton Mowbray in Leicestershire. We run a sort of multi-layered sheep breeding business. We have a own farm here of Sandlands Farm of about 250 hectares with nucleus flocks of pedigree Charolais, Abermacks, Clins, Blue Texel sheep. We then rent another 200 hectares off a large estate 8 miles away where we lamb 1,600 commercial ewes. I run a flock of pedigree Charolais sheep. I've done so since 1986. I started out with 3 ewe lambs and a shearling ewe. I've built the numbers up over that time. They've been the only ever present in my farming business in that time. I suppose we fell in love with them very quickly because they do so much that we think is important, and we've met a tremendous amount of really nice people. Had so much fun and enjoyment in keeping those sheep that I can't ever envisage not having Charolais sheep. I'd really like over the next few years to build on the really sound foundations that we have as a breed. I'm totally convinced that the Charolais sheep has a really important role to play in the UK sheep industry moving forward. I think we have unique qualities as a breed that will fit in as we move to a more sustainable, easy care and diverse way of agriculture. I think the attributes of easy lambing, quick growth and easy fleshing will really come to the fore in the next few years, and I think they're going to knit really well in with a lot of the crosses that are about there, especially the Texel cross, the Suffolk crosses, and as people are moving away from the stratified system to keeping the self-contained flocks, I think it opens opportunities for the Charolais to grow into the future. I think every breed can improve. I think the work that's been done over the 44 years that the Charolais have been in the UK has been phenomenal. We've changed the breed out of all recognition to when it first came in, but I think there's still work to do. We have to address the perception of a lack of hardiness. We have to make sure that we maintain the quick growth, the easy lambing, the natural fleshing, but put in there a tougher sheep that's more robust, that can suit a wide variety of systems. We've got evidence that this is taking place with the results coming from the trial on the Welsh Mountain ewes in Wales, proving that the Charolais can fit and adapt to that system. There are lines and strains within our breed that will enable us to do that. So that'll be one thing. I think we've got to also build on that diverse genetic base that we have and create a breed leading, an industry leading breed that will adapt to the needs of the future. I think we have a really major role in the next 12 to 18 months to try and boost the profile of Charolais. If I have a disappointment over the last few years, I think we've sort of lost ground to some of our competitors in the way that we've gone about it. Those of us that work with Charolais on a day-to-day basis know the fantastic job to do. There's also a large tranche of commercial sheep farmers out there that reap the rewards from the benefit of the Charolais. I think what we need to do now is tap into that commercial base and that resource and actually get statements and stories and role models to convince other farmers that the Charolais actually do it on the ground, and they do as we say that they do. Interesting. It causes some very lively debates and discussions when we talk about sheep, but I wouldn't have it any other way. She enjoys the society as much as we do, and meeting people, and really likes the sheep and misses working with the sheep in the role that she does now, but her interest hopefully will stay there, and she'll continue to thrive and do well with her sheep in the breed. Within the breed previously I've held a number of roles. Recently, for the last 6 years, being chairman of the Finance and General Purposes Committee. Prior to that I was a trustee representing the Eastern Region. I sit on the Judges Committee. I've carried out inspections at all the major sales, and I've stood and worked on the society stands and have provided sheep for society stands in the past. I think that gives me a really good understanding of what the needs are of our membership, the needs of the society. I think we are at a crossroads, not only in agriculture but as a society, and we will have to change the way we operate. The world has changed tremendously the last 12 months, and I think over the next few years it will continue to change and evolve, and we as a society will have to adapt and adjust to the needs of our members. But I believe with the really talented people we have on council, the fantastic administrators and support that we have from the office at Croghan Farm, we'll be able to do that. And then my wish is that we can take all of our members with us on that journey. We can listen to the needs of the members and take on board what they're saying, and then try and make the best informed decisions to move the breed forward and to make it better for everybody, to make sure that anybody who works with Chevrolets really benefits from having those sheep. Currently within the wider agriculture industry, I have a number of key roles. I've been chair of the Sheep Health and Welfare Group. I currently chair the Sheep Breeders Roundtable, which is a really fascinating group of people who meet biannually to discuss the genetic trends and the way sheep breed industry is going, and it helps to put Chevrolets at the forefront of that and keeps us involved. My most high profile role at the minute is to be the sheep industry lead on the DEFRA Animal Health and Welfare Pathway. That's been 2.5 years so far, and looks like we've still got quite a way to go. But that's a proposal that will completely change the way we view animal health and welfare, the way we look after our sheep in the UK. There are some really interesting and innovative ideas coming from that, and hopefully, as I mentioned earlier, the Chevrolets will fit some of those things. The easier lambing, the easier care, that will actually have an impact on the animal's welfare, and it will come to the fore, and we will be able to do that. So these wider roles within the agriculture industry give me a really good feel and take for what's actually happening and what the future trends and developments are within the industry. We do both, and I would say that there are benefits in both systems. If you sell from home, you get that one-to-one with your customer. You get the chance to get feedback and find out how the rams perform and how they do. By going into the auction market though at Bilth and Worcester, you're usually able to increase the value of your stock and the price, but sometimes the sheep can be bought from people who you never see again and you don't get that sort of feedback. So there are pros and cons in both systems. I'm a very keen supporter of the live market system of marketing stock. I think it helps us set the price. It helps us to, as a breeder, you can go to those sales and see the trends within your breed, see what other breeders are doing, get a feel for where they're going and what the direction that we need to take our sheep. So that's a benefit, but as I say, you don't get the feedback by sometimes selling to people who you don't know. I, rightly or wrongly, but I'm convinced rightly, believe incredibly that performance recording is an essential part of genetic improvement in any form of livestock. We've used it in our flock for over 30 years now, and actually it has helped us make those decisions on what lines are continuing to develop, how do we improve those lines, how we try to view our sheep. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. It's a simple saying, but it's absolutely true. And the future for agriculture will be more about performance recording, benchmarking, comparing yourself to others, trying to run an efficient, effective and sustainable business. And I for one know that performance recording of the sheep is a small part of it, but we also have to performance record our business and our farm to make sure that we are doing the job as effectively and as well as we possibly can in comparison to our peers. I don't have any wisdom, but I can pass on the mistakes that I've made, I think, and everybody makes a lot of mistakes. But when newcomers to the breed, whether they be young or old, actually, it's always fairly. I found it very daunting as a 21-year-old when I bought my first sheep, and I was lucky. I made some good contacts and some good friendships. And I think the advice that I can give is to get involved within your region, in your local region. Pick the brains of the more established and longer serving breeders. Try and watch, look, learn, listen to all the things that they're doing with their sheep, and just embed yourself into the breed. And then it's to ask questions. Now, historically, the older generation have been sort of somewhat reticent to pass on those pearls of wisdom to the younger up and coming ones. It's something that I really want to change, and hopefully we can get our next generation group going, and some of the breeders, we will ask some of the more experienced breeders to pass over the information, how they select stock, how they grow stock, how they feed stock, how they trim stock. It's there, everything's there. We have a tremendous wealth of knowledge and experience within our breed. It's now finding the routes to pass that on to people who want to learn. But with anything in life, you have to make mistakes, you have to learn, and you have to learn from your own mistakes. So there's no silver bullet to this, I'm afraid, but there is help out there. There's always help from the society, the regional chairman, myself as national chairman and other people. So don't be scared, don't be afraid to ask. However stupid you may think the question is, please don't be afraid to ask. But we can't make it perfect for you all on our own. There's got to be a two-way street, and you will have to sort of buy into it and be part of the process.